Indurain and Chiappucci heading up now towards the summit. The clock is counting down on the right of our screen there. The champion of Italy, Gianni Bugno, and at the back, the former double winner of the Tour de France, Laurent Fignon, and Savage in the middle, the man who says he's no interest in winning the Tour de France, only stages, Charlie Motte. And if he won this one today, Paul, and there's every reason to think he could because there's still a way to go, he would win 3 in a row. And I've really no idea who the last rider was, if indeed it's ever been done 3 in a row.
Can't remember 3 in a row ever being won, but the thing about Motte, I think when he announced that he was no longer going to ride to try and win the Tour de France, it was like a liberation from him. He got a lot of problems off his shoulders, and he rides totally relaxed now. He just takes every day as it comes. And look at the time. It's going to be over 2 minutes as we come over the top of the climb here. Bugno doing all the work here. All he wants to do is try and get back into contention here.
So Bugno third at 2 minutes 10 seconds. The clock count, it might have been a bit less. And no, there's the line. 2 minutes 13 seconds now as Bugno goes over ahead of Motte and Fignon. But Greg LeMond now is in big trouble with the finishing climb still to come. And goodness knows what has happened to Pedro Delgado, but he's got to now be over 6 minutes back. We'll take a short break. And so we're now on the final 3 kilometres of the climb to the finishing line, and Miguel Indurain is now the leader of the Tour de France, and that most certainly, Paul, is official. Gianni Bugno is chasing them alone behind, but these two have fended off and in fact pulled away since they made a very rapid descent of the Col d'Aspin. The situation on the road now, these two are leading Gianni Bugno by approximately 2 minutes and maybe 5 seconds. Motte and Fignon, the 2 French riders, are battling it out behind Bugno. Then we have a group containing Andy Hampsten, Gerard Rouet, Eduardo Chozas, Greg LeMond, and another Z rider, Eric Boyer, who came up like an express train after being a minute down on the top of the Aspin. And they're going back here now to what is the fight here for 5th place, and that is an attack by Laurent Fignon. He really has been looking like his old self again today.
You can see how he's really suffering now, how far forward he's sitting on the saddle. This man really can suffer. He knows Bugno's in front of him, but he knows LeMond is behind, and he's thinking maybe about a place on the podium in Paris. He's thinking also that the Tour de France is not over.
And there's Bugno now, heading up towards the finish. It won't be too long before he arrives up at the finishing line. And there are thousands upon thousands of people on top of the mountain at Val Laurent, and I've never seen a crowd like it. This is the first time the Tour has been here. Well, unbelievably, Paul Sherwin and I left our hotel at 10 minutes to 6 this morning, 2 kilometres inside the Spanish frontier, and within about 15 kilometres we were in horrendous traffic jams and worried we would not make the finish because of the number of cars that were heading out to the mountains on the French side of the Pyrenees. And here's a couple of examples of the Spanish as they run alongside Laurent Fignon. Oh dear me, I felt that one. And the Fignon not wanting anybody else, and the Spanish quickly backing off.
Well, it's very difficult for the rider. He's been suffering all day, and when you have someone running alongside you like that, it really does put you off your rhythm. Fignon just wants to suffer in silence. He knows the crowd's there, but it really is off-putting when someone runs alongside you like that.
Well, Laurent Fignon looking good again. Now, when he was knocked out of the Tour by that 8 seconds defeat by Greg LeMond in that remarkable time trial a couple of years ago, he didn't ride at all well last year, left the Tour in the first few days. He's not really had a great start to the season either, but he's prepared quietly for the Tour de France, made no comment, and now he's giving us his answer. He's riding this race very, very well indeed. He parts company with his manager Cyril Guimard at the end of this season. He will leave the Castorama team, and I would think after a performance like this, there'll be quite a few teams on the side. Look at this, though. Greg LeMond, Paul, is in trouble at the back of this group.
This has got to be one of the worst days in the life of Greg LeMond, I think. Whenever we look down at him, he's got his head bowed in agony. Every time Eric Boyer comes to a corner, he's looking around to see where LeMond is. He's waiting for him, trying to cheer him up, trying to help him, coach him all the way to the top of the climb. He's been left by Andy Hampsten and Chozas. And there, Eric Boyer stayed alongside him to try and make sure he limits his losses a little bit, because LeMond really is going through hell today.
Further up the mountain now, and the champion of Italy goes on relentless. Any more time checks, Paul?
No more time six at the moment. There's been a few problems with the radio today, but I think Gianni Bugno seems to be closing in a little bit, still around the 2-minute mark, but the Greg LeMond group is still 5.5 minutes, and Laurent Fignon is about 25 seconds behind Bugno at the moment.
Well, for Bugno to take the race lead, he's got to make up a lot more time yet on the leaders, and I don't think he will. And that's for sure. Indurain now, who started ahead of him this morning, ahead of him on the road. Obviously, he will be the yellow jersey by the end of the day. Luc Leblanc, I think, will come in over 10 minutes behind. And sadly for us as British spectators, we haven't seen anything of Robert Miller at all today. He's been struggling behind the field since he cracked on the Tourmalet. And now it's 2 kilometres to go for Gianni Bugno.